I still remember the sound of the slap more than the pain, how it echoed through the tiny house like a verdict. My mother's hand trembling, my father's voice cracking. It's either the baby or us. Get out, you've disgraced us. Their faces weren't angry, they were afraid. Afraid of shame, of gossip, of being parents to a girl who messed up. By morning, they had packed my life into 3 black trash bags and lined them on the porch like garbage waiting for pickup. I stood there barefoot, 17, pregnant and exiled. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just picked up the bags one by one and walked into the cold. At the shelter, the lights never went off. Babies cried, women argued. The air smelled of metal and mildew. I slept sitting up, one hand on my stomach, promising the child inside me one thing. We will survive. We will prevail. And one day, they will regret everything. I worked double shifts after he was born, mornings at a diner, nights cleaning offices. I learned to live with blistered feet and cold dinners. I learned that when people see a young single mother, they see an apology waiting to happen. But I never apologized. I built my life deliberately, like a courtroom case. Every choice was evidence. Every sacrifice was preparation. A small apartment, a reliable job, a night degree, a future for my son Isaac. The years hardened me, sharpened me, but motherhood softened nothing. It only clarified who deserved tenderness. My parents didn't call, not once. Not when Isaac was born, not on his birthdays, not when I graduated. Silence. That was their legacy. And then 12 years later, on a quiet Sunday morning, there was a knock at my door. I knew the rhythm before I opened it. My father always knocked twice, then paused, then once more. A habit I used to think was gentle. Now it sounded like intrusion. But I didn't go to the door. Isaac did. I heard my father's breath catch. He looks just like... His voice broke, like he was staring at a ghost instead of a grandson. I walked into the hallway slowly, deliberately, letting him take in the home he never expected me to have. Clean, warm, stable, everything they swore I'd never achieve. My mother stood behind him, smaller than I remembered, holding her purse like a shield. "Your aunt died," she whispered. "People are talking. They ask about you, about him." Ah, there it was. Not remorse, not love, reputation. I didn't invite them inside. Not yet. I wanted them to see my life from the threshold, close enough to feel the warmth, far enough to know they're outsiders. My father cleared his throat. Maybe it's time to reconnect, rebuild the family. Patch things, rewrite history for the neighbors. "My son," I said, and the words came out slow enough to sting, "doesn't talk to strangers." My mother flinched. "Strangers? We're your parents." I almost laughed. Parents don't choose their reputation over their child. There was a long silence, heavy, revealing. I watched my father's face twist as the truth settled in, a truth I had waited 12 years for him to confront. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. Isaac stayed inside. My life stayed inside. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice calm, controlled. My father tried to reach for my arm. I moved back before he touched me. "We're getting older," he whispered. "We made mistakes." "Mistakes?" I repeated. "A mistake is burning dinner. You exiled your daughter. You abandoned your grandchild. That's not a mistake. That's a choice." My mother's eyes glistened. "We want to make it right." "Make it right?" I said softly. "Or make it look right?" They said nothing. Silence is always the closest thing to truth. I crossed my arms. You want forgiveness without accountability. You want family without responsibility. You want access to a child you never wanted born. My voice stayed steady, but inside, the revenge, the justice clicked into place. They had come here for redemption. I would give them clarity instead. You don't get to return only because my life turned out better than you predicted, I said. You don't get the reward after refusing the burden. My father swallowed hard. So, you're shutting us out? I held his gaze. No. You shut yourselves out 12 years ago. I'm just keeping the door locked. I walked back inside and closed the door. Slowly, quietly. No slam, no drama. Just the finality of a verdict. Isaac looked up at me. Who was that? No one important, I said, and meant it. For the first time in years, I felt the weight of the past break off my spine. Relief, not forgiveness, filled the space it left. I had survived the abandonment. I had built a life from ashes. And now, finally, I had delivered the only justice that mattered. I rose without them. And they came crawling back to a door that would never open again.